Hello, Marlboro, and welcome to Marlboro Chats. We are interviewing our three candidates for town council, the team of Denuzzo, Milman, and Kazi, the better team, better direction. And we have Michael Milman, candidate for town council. Michael, welcome to Marlboro Chats.
Thanks for having me, John. It's good to be here.
Michael, let me ask you, why are you running for town council?
Well, I'm running for town council because I've been living in Marlboro for the past 17 years. And the first thing that I've noticed recently is that the current administration has been in power for way too long. And we believe in term limits, we believe in fresh new ideas, and we also believe in checks and balances because you have a one-sided administration. And the reason we even notice these things in the first place is because of the issues that we've seen that weren't addressed all these years. And you talk to the local citizens, and you all agree on what the issues are. And I think what really sparked my interest and inspired me to run is when we had issues last year. I addressed these issues in the Marlboro group on Facebook, and somebody said, well, if you want to see change, why don't you run for office? And here I am today.
Very good. Michael, what will you accomplish when you're elected?
Where do we begin? First of all, I want to mention that we have a huge problem with overdevelopment. Okay, that's something that needs to be addressed. The affordable housing, I think that it could have been handled a lot better. And in my opinion, I think that the reason why these things are an issue for Marlboro citizens is because, number one, the increase of traffic will be insane. And I think that our property values in jeopardy of going down, as well as property taxes going up. So this alone is a huge, huge part of the concern of the Marlboro citizens. We don't want to see taxes go up. Yes, they're probably not going to come down. We understand that. But we do not want it going up. So another thing we all noticed since last year because of COVID is that the internet is a problem, right? Like you're thinking, really? In 2021, the internet's a problem? How's this even possible? Well, because now, because of COVID, people are working from home. They're working remote. And they notice how the internet is just not good. And Optimum is pretty much a monopoly here. And because they're in a monopoly, they feel that they don't need to try hard. So we need competition. We need people to have a choice on what internet provider they choose for themselves. And if Optimum has healthy competition, like Verizon, for instance, they will try harder. And there's issues with the roads. You know, I know when I went petitioning for getting signatures for my candidacy, one of the things people kept mentioning are the roads. The roads are damaged. Nobody's ever doing anything about the roads. I think one thing we spoke about is what possibly contributes to this disaster is that we have private companies that pick up our trash. Four different private companies. When our sister town, Manalapan, has a company that is included in the tax-paying dollars, and there's with us, we pay for it out of our pockets. It's private companies, and since there's so many of them, they contribute to damaging our roads.
Okay. Why should I vote for you or your team?
That's quite simple. Let's just start with, term limits for the current administration, right? I feel like what I love about the United States of America when we look at presidencies and mayor, well, not in this town, but because I'm originally from New York City, we have term limits for governors, right? And I feel like you could love the candidate, you could hate the candidate, but what makes us better than any country in the world is that you can give them term limits, and then we need somebody new and fresh. And so let's just start right there. We need fresh new ideas. We need somebody who's determined to make positive change because we're frustrated as Marlboro citizens with all the issues that I've already been mentioning. Now, when you have the current administration that feels comfortable because they've been in power so long, and everybody calls it the Hornick machine, right? So everybody's like, well, they're untouchable. They feel that power. And when you feel power like that, you don't feel the obligation to do anything because you're comfortable, right? It's like that quote, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
So what you're suggesting is no accountability or checks and balances with a one-party council and in the same party mayor?
Absolutely. And, I'm tired of this whole Republican Democrat thing in town that everybody talks about. Oh, you're a Republican? Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that. Look, I'm not Donald Trump. The team of DiNuzzo, Milman, and Kazi, we are not Donald Trump. We are individual people. And when you look at the local, government, it has nothing to do with national politics, okay? You have everybody in council, the 5 seats, they're Democrats. You have the mayor that's a Democrat, and that's fine. I have nothing against the Democratic Party, but we need checks and balances. They all have their little club. They're all on the same team. We need opposition. We need checks and balances. We need to have these 3 Republican seats to make sure there's a balance in our government so we could work together.
Michael, what do you bring to the table?
I bring energy. I bring fresh new ideas. I know how to connect with the people. When I speak to the people, I listen more importantly than anything. And I think that's what people fail to do. They love to talk, but they don't love to listen. I love to listen. I love to address people's concerns. Like, for instance, when we went knocking on people's doors, one person says to me, and I didn't even realize that this was such a problem for certain people. He was like saying, listen, I think that the situation with the internet, which we knew is such a problem, but he emphasizes anger and frustration. And, I just have this itch to help and fight for the people. I want to fight to fix this town. That's what I bring to the table.
Okay. What do you think about the ethics situation that seems to be prevalent in the town, or lack thereof, I should say?
Please elaborate.
Well, you have a current seated councilwoman who was fined for an ethics violation. Fined.
Okay. Again, that just goes to show that you're too comfortable when you're in power for too long. And that's an abuse of power. There's no council oversight. There is no checks and balances. We need to have the people involved in the community, in the council more. People need to come to meetings more. And the current administration, from my understanding, doesn't do that very well. But when the team of DiNuzzo, Milman, and Kazi gets elected, and when we get sworn into office in January of 2022, we will bring positive change, and we will have culture change, healthy culture change.
Michael, why is it important? Because everyone seems to keep referring to the team of DiNuzzo, Milman, and Kazi. Why voting for the 3, the team, is so important?
Well, because, again, we have 5 councilmen that are in the Democratic Party currently, part of John Hornick's crew. Okay, so if only...
Well, why do you say it's Hornick's crew?
Because everybody knows, like everybody I talk to, right, they say to me, his supporters, they're like, oh, you're running against Hornick's crew. That's what they keep saying. Oh, well, good luck. I don't think you have a chance. They're very powerful, And, well, listen, I beg to differ. I think people had enough and they want change. So that's why I say Hornick's crew, okay? It's nothing again. It's no disrespect to John Hornick. I'm just saying what the people are saying, okay? So what was I saying? You lost my train of thought here.
No, that's okay. I think you've covered it. It's an ethics issue. And the one party.
Oh, no. So okay. I'm glad that you put me back on track here. So when we get in, we actually, if like only one of us or 2 of us are elected, then we're powerless, all right? Because they're going to continue doing business as usual, nothing's going to change. But if the 3 of us get elected, now we have say, we actually stand united, and we have the power to make a positive change here in town.
You make reference to business as usual if the team of DiNuzzo, Milman, and Kazi is not elected. One issue that I believe your campaign has addressed is that we have a third party Sammy Associates running our zoning department and planning or community, the new title. What are your feelings that there's a third-party outside firm basically running the town?
I'm not happy about it, and the citizens are not happy about it. And again, we just had enough. We had enough of, all this injustice that is happening. And it's happening because it benefits individuals that are not the citizens of Marlboro. It's that plain and simple.
Would you like to make a closing statement?
I would like to make a closing statement. I would like to say thank you for considering the Denuso, Milman, and Kazi team. I hope that the citizens of Marlboro get more involved in local politics. Honestly, I don't think enough people are involved in local politics, and I think it's very important for the community. I think whether you want to vote for us or not, you should go out and vote anyway. But I please ask that you give us a chance, you really read about us, you really consider us, because again, if you're a strong Democrat and you're like, ugh, I am not voting for these Republicans, well, we're not the usual Republicans you think about in the White House and national politics. We're individuals, we deserve a fair chance, and we really want to do what's best for you, Marlboro. So please, we hope to see you on November 2nd.
Thank you, Michael. Well, this concludes the interview with Michael Milman, candidate for Marlboro Town Council. See you again on Marlboro Chats.